Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how to get an internship, co-op, or do undergraduate research while you are completing your undergrad. Okay, while you're in school, while you're going to school, you may hear something about how those who graduate have a hard time finding a job when they do graduate. You hear them say something like, I applied to a job and they expected me to have 3 years of experience. How is that entry level? These entry level jobs have these requirements that you actually have experience already. How is that entry level? How can you get experience unless you have a job? Yeah, it's a legitimate issue. I get the struggle, but while you're in school, you do have the chance to mitigate the possibility of you having a hard time finding a job post-graduation. Internships, co-ops, and doing undergraduate research while you're in school is some of the easiest ways to gain this experience while you are in school. You can gain valuable industry knowledge before you enter the job market. The skills that you learn in these jobs will greatly differentiate you from your fellow classmates, or really your competition, when you actually do start to enter the job market. My goal today is to show you how you can get one of these jobs. As I know it can be difficult and daunting to do so, I want to give you the most information I can on how you can take actionable steps towards your goals. Also, stay tuned because I'm going to share my own story on how I got to participate in a co-op and I did undergraduate research while I was in undergrad. Let's get started. Before we get into the how of obtaining one of these jobs, I want to talk about the why. Why should you try to get an internship or do research while you're in college? To be honest with you, there's very little reason why you shouldn't. I literally cannot think of any reasons. Okay, yes, it can be time consuming and it does have a tendency to distract from your studies, but being able to juggle a job while going to school sends a clear message to your future employers that you're good at time management. In my opinion, the pros greatly outweigh the cons. One of the reasons you should consider getting one of these jobs is to learn valuable skills. I'm gonna be honest, a lot of the stuff that you learn in college is kind of irrelevant when you get into the actual real job industry. Unfortunately, that's just kind of how the system works. An internship or co-op or undergraduate research is a great way to see what skills are actually relevant to the job market and industry you're looking at. It's a great opportunity to be able to practice the skills you learned and apply the knowledge that you collected while in school. I'm sure you've heard this a million times too. Networking, blah blah, you gotta network, know people, that's how you get jobs. And it's not wrong. That advice is pretty sound. There's just kind of a disconnect on how you actually go about doing that. And one of the easiest ways that I found was just at my job, getting to know people, showing that I am willing to do the work, working hard, offering to take on new responsibilities at my job. It's so useful to do that when you're at an internship, a co-op, or undergraduate research because you're working with people that are already important in your industry. The people that you work with there are going to be advocates for your future career. Another reason why getting a job in an internship or a co-op is beneficial is because you want to have stuff on your resume. Simply just having something tied to the industry that you're interested in can be a game changer when it's on your resume. You'll have a great head start on those who haven't done anything related to their field. Okay, the last reason that I have why I think that getting an internship or doing undergraduate research is beneficial while you're in school is because you'll be able to discover your likes and dislikes. We spend years of our lives going to college with a very vague picture of what our actual jobs are going to be like. These internships and co-ops and undergraduate research are a great look at how it could be in your field. I like to think of internships, co-ops, undergraduate research as like a halfway point between, going to school and actually going to a job post-graduation. I'd like to think of it as a nice stepping stone, a transition. You can discover so much about yourself and what you like, what you dislike, the specialty that you're interested in your field. You can discover all of that while you're working during school in an internship, co-op, or doing undergraduate research. Next, I want to define the differences between internships, co-ops, and undergraduate research. Undergraduate research. So many professors at your college, yes, their purpose is to teach, of course, but the other part of their job is to conduct research. Research-funded projects bring in a lot of money for these universities. So these professors have a high demand for individuals that can help them complete this research. Their funds help them hire undergraduates, graduates, and staff. These professors are looking for motivated students who are interested in learning more aside from their normal studies in school. Internships are typically offered by different companies within an industry. They can last for maybe terms, or they can be like a specific period of time and you may be working part-time or you could be working full-time. They usually give a junior level of responsibility, usually. Now, some internships give you more responsibility than others for sure. Co-ops are pretty similar to internships, though they usually last longer. You may work one semester full-time, and then you may go to school full-time for a semester. It just kind of depends on the co-op. Or sometimes they're even pretty generous and they'll let you work a designated schedule that kind of works in around your school schedule. How to become a research assistant. The first step is to find a professor whose research you're actually interested in, or you have a class with them, you actually like them, you like the way they teach, you're just interested in either that specific professor or the research that they're doing. The key here is to build rapport. If you can, get another professor to refer you to them. Ask questions in class, go to office hours, email them, talk to them after class. Basically, express interest in the course and a desire to learn more. Make them know your name. Show interest. That's the main point. Finally, when you have sown the seeds of interest and they know you by name, email them, reach out to them, or just go to their office and ask, "Hello, Dr. Burt. I've taken a recent interest in the research that you've been conducting on blah, blah, blah. I was wondering if you had any open positions right now that I could possibly apply to." And if they say no, that's fine. That's not the end. You can still just volunteer to start helping out there. Yes, volunteer experience is experience. You can absolutely put this on your resume. Oh my gosh, please do. How to find an internship or co-op program. One of the most underutilized and underestimated departments at a university is the Business and Career Development Department. Literally, their whole job is to help you find a position post-graduation. They can point you in the right direction for an internship or a co-op. And you can always just search on your own, search through Google, look through the school emails, but honestly, I'm telling you, visit your career center. Just do it. Okay, well that's basically it for all the information that I had on how to get an internship, co-op, or do undergraduate research. Now I'm going to tell you about my story. So I started off at a 2-year college where originally I thought I was going to be a chemical engineer. I got to know one of my instructors there for my Gen Chem 101 or something class. She referred me to apply to this co-op program at a local chemical factory. I didn't get it the first time around. I'm a really bad interviewer, or at least I was. I'm a lot better now, but it was not a good interview. Anyways, they passed me up the first time, and then they, a few months later, one of their people didn't work out, so I went back and interviewed again, did a lot better, and got the job. I worked there as basically a chemical student lab tech. I just conducted pretty basic smaller experiments. I didn't like it very much, so I think that's really what made me decide not to go into chemical engineer. I did not enjoy it. So that goes back to what I was saying about getting this real world job experience can greatly help you figure out what you do and don't like. And in my case, I'm so grateful that I did this job because it helped me figure out that that's not the direction I wanted to go. Fast forward, and I get a scholarship to go to a 4-year university and start on my aerospace engineering degree. And one of the classes I took, I built up rapport again with another one of the professors, and he referred me to another professor who was conducting research at a propulsion research center on campus. And what? Propulsion? Oh my gosh, yes, I was on that. So I had like a pretty informal interview with the professor, the lead research engineer basically, and his graduate assistant. They basically just offered to let me hang around. It was a volunteer position for sure. So I volunteered there for probably about a year or so, maybe 2 semesters. And I worked on cold flow testing for fuel injectors, and I did a lot of work with 3D printers, and I just really kind of was getting familiar with the facility. They actually ended up finally offering me a real position. But all of that work, you know, just volunteering, showing up, contributing, paid off. They offered me a position. Well, I got to work on a lot more things once I got the actual position. I started working on hot fire testing. Man, wow, I learned so much. I learned so much about myself. I got really into instrumentation. I got really into programmable logic controllers, and that is what got me my job that I have now. My post-grad job was just getting that experience while I was in school. I just want to really stress how important it is to get this experience. And it's not just because it's a resume builder. It's because you'll figure out stuff about yourself that you didn't even know. You'll figure out your passions. You'll figure out what you don't like. It's so important to know these things because school does not prepare you for that. They just basically is a one-fit-all type thing, and that's just not how the real world works. Okay, well that's all I have. I hope you guys benefited from the information that I provided today. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.